Everything's running?
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I was muted. I'm going to mute myself again. Go ahead.
We're good to go? Okay,
Yes.
great. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a regularly scheduled meeting of the Zoning Commission of the City of Danbury via Zoom, October 8th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Let the record show we'll begin the roll call at 7:06. Commissioner Bennett is absent. Commissioner Botello,
Present.
Commissioner Cabrera,
Here.
Commissioner James,
Present.
Commissioner Jowdy is absent. Commissioner Nazario,
Here.
Commissioner Nejam is absent. Commissioner O'Neill,
Yeah.
Commissioner Harrison is absent. Commissioner Simone,
Present.
Commissioner Villacrez, absent. And I am Chairman Haddad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Commissioner Simone, I'm going to put you in for Commissioner Jowdy for this evening.
Got it.
I won't call you in individually. You're covering him for the whole night.
Got it.
All right. And I will put him down here. Just in case we have a vote. Okay. The next regular meeting is scheduled for October 22nd, 2024. Commission members, we do have activity for that night. And if anyone has any flags, feel free to hold them up while we do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to
To the flag of the United States of America
and
and
to
to
the
the
republic for which it stands,
and
one nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty
liberty and
and justice
for
for
all.
all.
Thank you. Everyone should have received their September 24th minutes. They came in today. I'd like to entertain a motion to accept the minutes of September 24th, 2024.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of the 24.
Motion made to accept the minutes by Commissioner Botello, second by Commissioner
second.
Simone. Any discussion, changes, additions, deletions, modifications? Just not hearing any. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Minutes are accepted. Let me read the Zoom introduction. This meeting of the Danbury Zoning Commission is being held on Zoom as a virtual meeting. Even though this meeting is a virtual meeting, members of the public and interested parties continue to have the opportunity to participate in the meeting in a couple of different ways. You could participate via Zoom and see the audio and the video, or you can call in by phone and participate via audio only. Please be aware that we may have to mute your microphone or telephone to avoid an echo or some other background noise. This is also being streamed live via YouTube. Instructions on how to participate in the meeting appear on the City of Danbury website, and all of the documents and materials that apply to the matter to be discussed during this meeting, including the agenda, are also available on the City of Danbury website. As always, if you have any questions, please contact the City of Danbury Planning and Zoning Department. As a reminder, the entire meeting will be posted on and can be seen on the City of Danbury website. We will follow the posted agenda as per standard practice. If prior to the meeting, any questions or comments on agenda items are submitted via email to Ms. Jennifer Eminger, those comments will be read during the appropriate portion of the meeting. Finally, please remember that technology glitches sometimes do occur. Please be patient if that happens. This evening, we do not have any public hearings. Check, 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 and check. However, we do have a continuation of a public hearing. It's a petition of JMZL Partners, LLC, Danbury P LLC to amend section 7C3A1E and add section 7C3A4 of the zoning regulations, in parentheses, limit the prohibition on auto repair from the previously approved site located within the public water supply watershed district. Commission members, if you recall, we continue this. It's open, so we'll be having another round of in favor and opposition after we get presentations. But I think what we're going to do is begin with Ms. Eminger. I think you worked and collaborated with Attorney Marcus on this, so if we could start you off on what's new. I don't know if I have to. Should I read that letter? I'll tell you what, Attorney Marcus. I'd rather, instead of me reading that letter in from you, just go over it when I call on you, okay? The letter that you sent to me. Okay, Ms. Eminger, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, Jennifer Eminger, Deputy Planning Director. You have, so from the continuation of the last meeting, staff had requested additional time to review the revised petition that Attorney Marcus has now submitted to the Zoning Commission. We have reviewed that document between myself, Planning Director Al Bakri, as well as Larry Liebman from the Health Department. We have reviewed this. Staff has no additional concerns or comments. All of my comments addressed have been addressed from my initial staff report. And again, just to clarify, the language you see before you is a representative of what was in my staff report. What Attorney Marcus and I did was wordsmith. We added some additional technical language to clarify a couple of the requirements. But for the most part, they're the same as what you saw at the last hearing.
Thank you. So,
Thank you.
Ms. Eminger, correct me if I'm wrong. Commission members, this is a unique scenario because we had a petition that was submitted and it's basically amended on the fly. And what we have in front of us is the work between the petitioner and the staff on what we discussed at the last meeting. Now, I went through this word for word because I saw it as the potential of walking a fine line to have this being resubmitted again or accepted as an amendment, because I want to make sure that when the Planning Commission heard it and saw it and referred it to us, that they were what they were referring is what the amendment was, and it was. So word for word, the original staff report, this document tonight, and the Planning Commission recommendation is what we were looking for at the last meeting. So this conforms to what we were looking for. However, I do want to ask Ms. Eminger, she may have to give this some thought, and I will ask Attorney Marcus. There is on 7C3A 4-5, where it says auto repair, servicing, detailing, and washing shall take place. There's a comma between repair and servicing that does not appear on the Planning Commission recommendation and does not appear on the staff report. So does the definition of auto repair, comma, servicing, comma, is that different from auto repair servicing? So that's the only thing I would want to, maybe I'm nitpicking, but that's the only difference that I have seen between the documents. With that said, I'll ask the commission members if they have any questions of Ms. Eminger at this time before we call on Attorney Marcus. Ms. Eminger, do you have any comment on that?
If I may, Mr. Chairman, I think I just forgot the comma. It's auto repair, comma, servicing, comma. Again, it's the including detailing / washing. It was again, it's a series of commas. I believe I just, unintentionally left off the comma.
No, you got comma correct here for tonight, but comma was missing on planning and comma was missing on the original staff. Okay.
Correct. So I believe that what's before you tonight is what's correct.
Good, great, thank you. Commission members, anything else? Oh, I'm sorry, did I cut you off, Ms. Eminger?
No, you did not.
Okay.
Thank
Commission
you.
members, anything of Ms. Eminger at this time before I go on to Attorney Marcus? Thank you for your work on that, Ms. Eminger. Attorney Marcus.
Thank you. Again, for the record, Neil Marcus, Kona Wolf, PC 158, Deer Hill Avenue, on behalf of the applicant. And as the chair had alluded, I sent a letter following our meetings with the staff and our exchange of revisions to the original amendment. Mostly, a lot of them were as characterized as wordsmithing, editing. But I sent a letter on October 4th to the chairman, and I enclosed the current version of the amendment with the language that resulted from our ongoing discussions with the department. And at that point, and it has been confirmed this evening, and I believe that the language had the approval of the department. And they meet the highlighted concerns or comments in the prior staff report. So essentially, we took the initial concept and refined the language by being more specific as to standards pertaining to both site development and building development in a watershed area for a licensed Connecticut new car dealership. The original petition did not contain the CIF 16 specific criteria, but some of them were actually contained in other sections of the zoning regs. So we just pulled them all together, and it'll make it easier for an applicant to figure out what the site has to, how it has to be developed, and it'll make it easier for the commission, the planning commission ultimately, and the staff to review an application by checking off the specific standards and requirements. We also alluded to the certifications and the certification of the experts, the professional engineer, and the identification of the agencies, the DEP, et cetera, that would have to sign off on the plan as part of this process. So if you go to the actual amendment itself, most of these specifications and conditions are self-evident. It's lot size, lot location in the CA80 zone, municipal water and sewer. We've always talked about that. Certifications from a professional engineer registered and licensed in the state of Connecticut, allowing, of course, auto repair, as we talked about, auto repair servicing, detailing, and washing within the primary building. And that building itself cannot be closer than 100 feet to the wetland or water course that drains into the reservoir and creates the environmentally sensitive area in the first place. On-site storage of fuel was never going to be allowed. It's still prohibited. Auto body was never going to be allowed. It's still being prohibited. If we have loading docks, they'll have an overhead cover, and the wastewater will be subject to a permit for discharge as issued by the Connecticut DEP. Again, that's pretty standard in our regulations anyway. Areas for repair, loading docks, any washing and detailing areas will have floor drains and designed to go into a properly sized oil grit separator and directly discharge into the municipal sanitary sewer. Again, none of that's new to this commission. It's in our regulations generally. All hazardous materials, including lead acid batteries, need to be stored indoors, and they have to be in tanks or in containers within a vessel that provides the 125% storage volume, so that if a tank leaks, it leaks into a vessel that is larger than the tank by 25%. Hooded catch basins will be utilized for the stormwater management system. A spill prevention plan, we talked about this at the last hearing a little bit, specifically designed to handle any types of fluids and materials that are anticipated for storage in the facility, will be submitted for the commission's review, or for the staff and commission review. A waste management plan, again, will be submitted for review and approval, and a certificate of location approval, which is required for all car dealerships for in or outside of the watershed protection area, will still be required here. And then, as a catch-all, any of the requirements of 7C that are not specifically outlined here that are applicable to the use will be required. So we didn't, that's a catch-all. If we didn't pick up something, it didn't mean that it was not a part of the approval process. So that's the plan. And again, as we talked about at the conclusion of the last hearing, this took a lot of work, particularly by the department and by the health department, by Len, who was instrumental in advising Jen and subsequently me through our meetings. We think at this point, subject to any questions that the commission or the public may have, that we have a set of plans here that go above and beyond what currently exists for any type of auto repair that is grandfathered into the watershed area, including the site that we're talking about, even though we know the regs are not site specific, it is such a small area to which we're going to apply these regs that there are very few sites to which it will apply. But currently, we are targeting our used car facility on Mill Plain at the bottom of Westwood to be converted. And if these conditions and these standards and these requirements are now applied to the existing site, we're going to improve it. Not to say that they've had leaks, not to say that there have been any environmental issues there, but to the extent that there could be, this will minimize and make those that possibility even more remote. So I'm happy to answer any questions. I know Jennifer is still standing by, but I think we have a reg that without any second thoughts on our part, we can ask the commission to approve so that we can move on, hopefully, with the development of a project, which I say has other implications for the city of Danbury, you know, jobs, grand list, all the stuff that you guys are not directly concerned with, but certainly are indirectly concerned with. And that's the economic benefit. And I think it's going to be terrific. So without further ado, I'll answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Attorney Marcus. Commission
you.
members, any questions of Attorney Marcus at this time? Commission members. Thank you, Attorney Marcus.
Thank you.
Attorney Marcus, did you have any experts that you wanted to introduce or to speak further tonight?
Again, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have standing by, as you can see on the screen, Dinas Fabricus, who's been the civil engineer, who's been advising us all along, and Mark Frampson, who's both a civil engineer and an LEP, who's also been advising us all along. If you have any questions, I'm sure they'll be prepared to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you. Commission members, any questions at this time? Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this petition? Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this petition? Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this petition? Ms. Eminger, any final comments?
No, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Commission members, I think if anybody has any more questions, I'll take them. If not, a motion to close this public hearing is in order. Any questions? Commissioner Botello.
Not a question, but a comment. I think that everyone that worked on this did an excellent job. It's very comprehensive, and it looks to me like they've met all the fail-safe conditions. So very much I want to thank everyone that has been part of this. And so whatever the outcome it is, you gave it your best. It was a great presentation, and looks like you crossed all the T's. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Botello. I agree. Anyone else, commission members? Anyone looking to make a motion to close this public hearing? Motion to close the public hearing by Commissioner Botello. Is there a second?
I second.
Second by Commissioner Simone. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed. So this public hearing is closed. I'll tell you what, let me see what I have here and then I have an idea.
I count 5.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, commission members, I really hate delaying petitioners, whether they're going to get approved or whether they're not going to get approved. we can cheat our way into this thing here. We really need a motion before we can have discussion. However, the Connecticut General Statutes allows us to have some sort of straw vote discussion. We are on such a fine line here. One no vote, the petition is denied. If anybody wants to take a crack at the 5 eligible, which I show as Botello, Cabrera, O'Neill, Simone, and Haddad. If those 5 would like to have some discussion tonight as to which way they're swaying, if it seems as though they're swaying positive, we might want to move this over to old business tonight. If it doesn't look that way, we might want to get a full body in here to be fair to the petitioner. Does anybody want to start with any conversation? Commissioner Botello, do you want to lead off by your thoughts on this? Commissioner Botello, you're on mute.
Thank you. Once again, I'd like to thank Attorney Marcus. It was a professional presentation, was very thorough. The contents were very comprehensive, and I see everything in favor of being the blueprint for the future. So I'm very happy with the results. So I would definitely be a positive as far as getting this approved.
Thank you. Commissioner O'Neill, do you want to just throw a couple of words into this?
I appreciate all the work that everyone put into this and the teamwork that it took to achieve this, and it seems like everything's in order. So looks good.
Commissioner Cabrera, any thoughts?
I think just like my fellow commissioners have mentioned, I think it's great. It's a great application.
Thank you. Commissioner Simone, comments?
Yeah, let's move this forward.
I'm sorry, please say again.
No, I agree with everybody else, and let's move this forward.
Thank you. I would agree too, but I will ask Attorney Marcus. Attorney Marcus, how do you want us to roll the dice on this? We can wait for the next meeting. Or if you guys are in a hurry, you heard some of the comments that were made.
Well, quite honestly, I'm happy to have you move this matter this evening, because we are all, there's a huge consensus, and the department's done so much work, and at this point, the comments are all favorable. I'd be happy to move the matter and get the process further down the road.
Okay, and commission members and Attorney Marcus, as you know, Attorney Eminger, as you know, the Connecticut General Statutes does allow us to take an amended petition. It's much more specific than the original petition and act on it. So we are within our rights to act on it. So it sounds to me like the 5 that are eligible out of the 7 that are here tonight, it seems like everybody was quite satisfied with these new protections. So I would ask if somebody wants to make a motion to move this petition to number 1 under old business for discussion of possible action. Commissioner Botello.
Yes, I would. It would my pleasure be to close and bring it to the up for next step, which would be the close
There's
of
a
tonight.
motion by Commissioner Botello to move the petition of JMZL Partners to number 1 under old business for discussion of possible action. Is there a second?
I'll second.
By Commissioner
I second.
O'Neill. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, so now we are at number 1 under old business for discussion of possible action. Is a petition of JMZL Partners LLC, Danbury P LLC to amend section 7C3A 1E and add section 7C3A4 of the zoning regulations, limit the prohibition on repair for a previously approved site located within the public water supply watershed district. Commission members, this public hearing was closed on October 8th, 2024, and was moved to number 1 under old business for discussion of possible action. Commission members, what's your pleasure? Commissioner Botello.
I would make a motion to approve this application, which is 8-3A referral petition of JMZL Partners LLC, Danbury PLLC to amend section 7.C.3.A 1E and add section 7.C.3.A.4 of the zoning regulations, limit the prohibition on auto repair for a previously approved site located within the public water supply and watershed district.
Thank you. And would one of your reasons be that it's consistent with the plan of conservation and development and that such amendments will not negatively impact the health, safety, and welfare of the general public?
Totally agreed.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second,
Second by Commissioner Cabrera. Commission members, any discussion? Commission members, any discussion? There's a motion made with reasons and there was a second to approve this petition. No discussion. A yes is yes. A no is no. Commissioner Botello,
Emphatically, yes.
Commissioner Cabrera,
yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Simone,
Yes.
and I will vote yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Congratulations. This petition has been approved unanimously.
Thank you very much on behalf of all the hard work and by the way, I don't know about Jennifer, but I certainly appreciate those comments. She deserves them more than I do, but thank you.
And on behalf of the petitioner, thank you very much. It was an incredibly efficient and professional job. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, commission members. Thank you, Ms. Eminger, everyone on the planning zoning
Thank
side.
you.
Yeah, I have to comment, Mark, you're in
Best of luck.
Washington, DC. You're in Washington, DC. The government doesn't move that quickly down there.
No, we not down here. It doesn't. No.
Sometimes we don't either. Our hands are tied, but I really thought tonight we can squeak this one out.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you.
Mr. Sober, we're hoping this is a platform for you to start and make something great. We believe that you're capable of doing it, and we're looking forward to see what you can do.
We are very much looking forward to being partners with the town and the city of Danbury. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, commission members, there's nothing under new business. There's nothing under correspondence. Under for reference only, we have a petition of City of Danbury by Walid Al-Bakri, Planning Director, to add subsection 5B, 5D to the zoning regulations, in parentheses, refine requirements for a dependency treatment center in the CA80 zone and renumber subsequent sections. Public hearing scheduled for October 22nd, 2024. That is our next meeting. Are there any other matters? Are there any other matters? Are there any other matters? No? Everybody good? So it's 7:33. Who wants to make a motion to adjourn? Commissioner Botello, comments?
I'll make a motion to adjourn and call it a night.
I'll
Commission
second.
members, there's a motion to adjourn by Commissioner Botello, second by Commissioner James. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We are adjourned at 7:33 p.m. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Teddy.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You too.